Right, we head to our penultimate race before the lunch break, and here is your starting order. It's going to be Kai Hunter and Lewis Gilbert on the front row. Lewis Gilbert was given a 5-second penalty post Heat 1 for a jump start, so Zomor Kovac would inherit the victory. Iska Kaskinen and Devian Horst rounding out the top two rows. The returning Kai Relats and Colin Vajny will be on row number 3. Ethan Jeff Hall, last year's junior Rotax champion, now goes to play with the big boys. He starts on the inside of row number 4 alongside Vic Stevens. Jan Schultz and Alberto Hurtado round out the top 10. Matthew Sterlo and Jens Christensen, row 11. Row 6. Ollie Stevens and Jort van Wijk, row 7. Andrea Kostic and Mohamed Wali rounding out the top 8 rows. Henry Beaumont and Jamie Perrelly, row 9. Camille McFarlane and Camille Murad round out the top 20. And now, Lucas Pernot, moving from DD2 to seniors for this year, will line up alongside Serbia's Andrej Petrovic with Brandon Klein-Nagelvoort, Kao Korenik, Enki Kalteren, Tom Bilou, Jason Krajewski, Justin Koenig, Leandro Calvarho, Atti Verta and Sim Sepp completing the 31-strong running order. So the 31-strong driver grid goes into the tram lines. Revs rise. Are we ready? Are we steady? Lights are at first time. We're underway. The field hurtles its way down towards turn number 1. And Kai Hunter keeps the lead. Lewis Gilbert keeps it pinned in second. Miska Kaskinen was looking rather feisty, looking to go up the inside. And Kai Rillert's trying to go around the outside of, look to be Devian Ross, going through into the mid part of the ascent up the hill. 374, also one of the new recruits at Kraft Motorsport, having decided to make a change after so much success over the past few seasons with JJ Racing. But it is going to be very, very quickly indeed, and it was nearly 3 carts coming into each other, coming out of turn number 12. I think 3 of them, I think it might have been all 3, it might have nearly given Dan Holland a heart attack there, because they were literally in a staggered formation coming out of that corner. But at the moment, it is the 395 of Kai Hunter that leads, as Hillert's trying to go into battle with the 385 of Finland's Miska Kaskinen. That's for 4th place into turn number 1. 8 3/4 minutes still to go as they go back up the hill again. Through into turn 6, now into 7, up the hill into 8, and Rilitz has got the run on Kaskinen going through into turn 8, and a 374 from Belgium makes it through to 4th place. Down the hill they go once again into the middle part of the circuit, where there's this nice little lengthy straight, and you could really size up a nice move into the hairpin. There is a move happening a little bit further back. That was from the 369 of Vic Stevens. That would have been actually, funnily enough, on Ollie Stevens in the 381 that got past. That would have been for 10th position. But Kai Hunter still leading the way. Gilbert in second. 3rd, it's Hurst. 4th, it's Relats. As there's a black and white being shown to Miska Kaskinen from Finland, and someone had just went exit stage left off of turn number 1 just now. Didn't really quite catch the number of the driver. Going at such a significant rate of speed. Difficult to pinpoint them. Ethan Jeffel currently sitting in 5th place ahead of Mattis Turlo. The pair have both got past Finland's Miska Kaskinen. Colin Vajny sitting in 8th place ahead of Jari Schön, Jarin Schultz and Vic Stevens. Top 10 last time round after the first 2 laps covered by effectively, looking at it, the top 10 were covered by exactly to the decimal point 3 seconds. And now there's going to be an attempt by Rillerts on Devian Rust, and he gets through nicely on turn number 17 on the Dutch driver for P3. So Rillerts now sporting a new race helmet, having given his previous one that was retired to his mechanic Rick Bogert just before this season. Nice little token gesture when you've worked with a mechanic for so long who's helped towards such great success as a junior and also a senior. Alex has had a busy week this week. He was actually he was flying back to Belgium the other day. Actually, it was Thursday, I believe, to go and do some Porsche testing. And then when he posted on his Instagram story about the fact he didn't want the 3:30 a.m. wake-up call. And then Ethan Jeffall, as I say that, has just gone through on Devian Host to now take 4th position. Both those drivers were competing against each other last year, and now they've decided to jump up at the same time. And now they are being caught by the 340 of Mattis Turlo. Running with Scott Svart these days with the SR Solutions crew. He's being caught by Colin Vajny of all people. It's under 5.5 minutes still to go, plus an additional lap in this race. Hunter has got a measured gap, let's say, 0.6 of a second. So 5 minutes still to go in this race. Rilets has got the fastest lap, 1 minute 3.106, but Hunter still leads. Rilets has been closing in on Gilbert, took 0.2 of a second out of him on the previous lap. The gap was nearly 0.6. And that gap now switches to just under half a second. 4th, 5th and 6th still being hotly contested. There's Ethan Jeffall in 4th position. Darren Rost in 5th, Mattis Turlo. There's Colin Vajny waiting in the wings. Vic Stevens now up into 8th, past Miska Kaskinen. Ollie Stevens is in 10th, ahead of Camille McFarlane. Jarin Schultz, Jamie Parry, Alberto Hurtado and Henry Beaumont completing the top 15. All 31 runners and riders still continuing onwards. As we're 60% of the way through this 3rd heat out of 10 for senior Rotax. Now Ethan Jeffall has been passed by Devian Host, and the two engage into battle into turn 1. Ethan Jeffall looking to try and get back past the Dutchman, retake that 4th place. About a second away, might be even more than that, behind Kai Rilets, who still rounds out the top 3. And Rilets and Gilbert literally within a 1/1000th of a second of each other on the previous lap. But Gilbert has taken time out of Kai Hunter on that previous tour, nearly to the tune of 0.2 of a second. With 2 minutes and 50 plus an additional lap still to go. It's anyone's guess what might happen at the sharper end of the grid. 0.87 of a second covers the top three as we head now onto lap number 8 of this race with just under 2.5 minutes to go. Still all to play for. The sun has been very prominent in the sky up above, but 4th and 5th, oh my goodness me, the train has started, and Ethan Jeff Hall in the meantime has got past Evian Horst. They haven't got Matthias Turlo that far behind them. Down the hill they go. Turlo is a few more kart lengths behind the pair in front than he'd like to be, but Ethan Jeff Hall is keeping Devian Hurst at bay. And now the 3-4-5 looking up the inside through turn 12 at the hairpin. Ethan Jeff Hall powerless to do anything about it. Matthias Turlo looks to the outside, has to back out of it. Down the back straightaway they go. Still not over yet between that trio, and then Ethan Jeff Hall just absolutely launches it from nowhere. Might have been even into northern Spain, let alone being here in Andalusia. And that nearly opened the door for Matthias Turlo. And now Devian Rost is getting impatient. He's trying to get past Ethan Jeff Hall, and Jeff Hall is just saying to him, no, you are not getting past. No, sunshine, you've got to do a hell of a lot better to get past me than that. And now it's opened the floodgates. There's Vic Stevens up the inside. Colin Vajny now waiting in the wings. But now that's allowing Ollie Stevens to try and get through. That just goes to show when they start battling hard, you are not focusing on what's going on behind you. And now Lewis Gilbert is closing in on Kai Hunter for the race lead. And Kai Hillitz is not that far behind them either. But this battle here for 4th place is going to be an absolute firecracker. Ethan Jeff Hall still holding on to that 4th place, but how much longer will that be for? Because he's got the pair behind of Devian Rost and also Matthias Turlo. Well, Matthias Turlo is a little bit further behind. He's behind Ollie Stevens because Vic Stevens has also got through. But Jeff Hall has really he's having to put on the defence right now. He's trying to hold on to that position. And now there's Vic Stevens up the inside. Through on Devian Hurst to take 5th position. And there could be more drama waiting the wings for the 345 from the Netherlands. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, the leaders are nearly alongside each other. There they are, Kai Hunter and Lewis Gilbert. Hunter takes a look over his right shoulder, puts on the brakes, Gilbert to the outside, looks to the over-under. He's going to try to get to the outside in the next corner. They tangle and Hunter's backwards and onto the grass. Well, my goodness. It's the immovable force versus the unstoppable object, and something had to give. And out of the final corner, it is going to be Lewis Gilbert that's going to provisionally take the win ahead of Kai Rillatz. But the gaggle behind, there's an absolute cluster coming through side by side between Matthias Turlo, and I think that was going to be quite a few more trying to get through. But the final lap board is out, and Lewis Gilbert is more than likely going to take the provisional victory. But Kai Hunter being dealt a decisive blow, but they're side by side into turn 8. Side by side into turn 8, and down the hill. And then behind Matthias Turlo, there comes the cavalry. Miska Kaskin and Camille McFarlane, amongst others, side by side, and up the inside went the 364 of Hurtado from Spain on Vajny from Poland. And then just behind them, they've got Jamie Perley. And out of the final corner this time, it is going to be the checkered flag for Lewis Gilbert provisionally on this occasion. Kai Hillitz takes second, 7.5 tenths behind. Ethan Jeff Hall, in his first European race as a senior, takes P3. Ahead of Devian Host, Ollie Stevens in 5th. Vic Stevens, Matthias Turlo, Miska Kaskinen, Camille McFarlane from France. Well, the 328 managed it to 8th at the 9th at the end of that. And great to see Spain represented in the top 10, courtesy of ALC Motorsports Alberto Hurtado. Colin Vajny, Jamie Perley and Henry Beaumont rounded out the top 13. Kai Hunter would finish 14th after that touch with Lewis Gilbert. ahead of Henki Kalteren and Tom Bilou running at the top 16. Jort van Wijk, Jaren Scholz, Kamal Mrad, Andrea Kostic, Brandon Klein-Nagovor, Jens Christensen, Andrei Petrovic, Mohamed Wali, Carl Korenik, Ativirta, Leandro Carvalho from Portugal. Lucas Pernaut, a difficult first one for the Canadian here in Europe as a senior, in 28th, ahead of Jason Krajewski, Tristan Koenig and Sim Sepp, rounding out the 31 strong. Senior Rotax doesn't fail to disappoint, and here in this particular heat was no exception. We got under starters orders with Hunter and Gilbert on the front row, and as the throttles were pushed down to the floor, the lights went out and we went racing. Hunter and Kaskinen would try and get the jump on the rest of the field, but Lewis Gilbert was trying to keep himself in second position, and the Scotsman managed to do that to keep it round the outside of turn 1 on the fin. Then also, Kai Rilitz was trying to make his move, and he made his mark against Miska Kaskinen by going up the inside of the fin at the top of the hill at turn 8. Then there was this clean battle between Devian Host and Ethan Jeff Hall, last year's junior Rotax champion, that would take place over the course of the race itself, with the pair swapping positions at multiple points, most particularly at turn number 12. Even Mattis Turlo would throw his 2 cents into the ring. We go side by side with last year's junior Rotax European champion. Then the floodgates started to open as Vic Stevens would throw his hand into the conversation, but also once again Jeff Hall and Devian Rost would still be battling away before Stevens had said otherwise. But it was this moment here that was the biggest touch paper moment, as both the wheels clattered into each other as Kai Hunter and Lewis Gilbert came together, with Hunter backwards on the approach into turn 13 and would end up 14th at the end of the race. A difficult, bitter pill to swallow for the 19-year-old from Sunderland. Also some other great position changes, courtesy of that one by Hurtado from Spain on Vajny from Poland. Lewis Gilbert would take the victory at the end of it, with Kai Rilitz finishing in second.